was just sitting here, I'm just missing my babies, and I was kind of thinking about something that just hit my spirit, and about being ashamed. And that's the thing I had to realize. Stop being ashamed. The reason why the path that you was in, even though it could have, a lot of the things that we do is by choice. God give us choice. A lot of things we do are by choice. God will put things in our pathway that will lead us. But everything that we do is by choice, for the most part. And so a lot of times we can be ashamed of our past. And we can be ashamed of where we at the moment. But, I just felt in my spirit, we need to stop being ashamed. And it just made me think about, I was thinking about how I used to always think I needed to have a ring on my finger, right? Because I was like, I got 5 children and I don't want anybody looking at me crazy, like this girl got 5 children, she, they probably all by different daddies and all this stuff. And I'm not knocking anybody who has children by different daddies, because I have family that does, I have people I love that love the Lord that do. I'm talking about my situation, how I was feeling, because if you have children by different daddies, that is your testimony, that is for you to help other people and be a light for them in that situation. But in my situation, I was just thinking about that, like, man, I want people to think I'm a single woman walking around here with 5 children and I'm not married, or I'm single and I'm out here like struggling and got a whole bunch of baby daddies on child support and stuff. Like, I used to be ashamed of that so bad, and now I just thinking about just evaluating my life. I'm like, why am I being ashamed? Like, this is where God has me at, and because of that, like, me being ashamed, I don't know how many people I could have been a blessing to, I could have ministered to by me, not because I had to go buy a ring. I had to go get a ring to put on my finger so it looks like I am married or I'm with someone, when that could have been my testimony to help somebody, And so I was just thinking about that, like, where we at, that is our testimony to help somebody else, whoever's going through. Because, somebody could be looking at me and be like, oh, she got a ring, she married. So I ain't going to go to her. She ain't going to understand me. She ain't going to know my situation. She ain't going to know what I'm going through. Just because it could be somebody walking in there getting something, and the person could have about 5, 8 children. And they dealing with some things. They're like, oh, she married. She ain't going to understand. I done had people come up to me and be like, oh, my goodness, all them yours? They got the same daddies? I have people come to me saying all kind of stuff to me about my babies. I was just tripping, like, just laughing, like, wow, like, yeah, they got the same daddy, they all lies, but, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed, because all it does is it strengthens your testimony, whatever your situation is, whatever you're going through, what you've been through. Don't be ashamed of that. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to let people see that. Let them see that side of you. I'm not ashamed of this. I'm not ashamed of my vulnerable side. The thing is, I know that God is going to protect me in that, and God has shown me so much with me being out here being vulnerable, and how there are wolves out here that will try to pounce on that vulnerability of yourself. But you have to know who you are in Christ. You got to stay rooted. You got to stay fasting. You got to stay prayerful. You got to really know who you are in Christ to not fall prey to a lot of these things. And even when you are rooted in Christ, people are so good and so cunning. But guess what? In that, you learn from that. We all gonna make our mistakes. You got people out here just act like they perfect, or yeah, they talk about how they made mistakes, but Lord forbid let you make a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I ain't perfect, I made mistakes. And you say all this stuff about your mistakes, but as soon as somebody else make a mistake, you're like, oh, you heard that so-and-so did this, so-and-so did that. And I mean, we all got to check ourselves on that. We need to be careful with that. Because we all had a past. We all got things. So that's the thing when the word talks about when you're helping your brother. When you're helping your brother or your sister, that you do it in the spirit of meekness. You don't want to mess up and be caught up in that same thing, thinking, oh, I'm strong, they ain't gonna never happen to me. I'm telling you, you saying all this stuff, but then you turn around and you end up getting in a situation you didn't even think you was gonna get in. You didn't even realize like how it just snuck up on you, how things just happened smoothly the way it did, and you end up caught up in something. So we need to think about that. And don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed of where you've been. Don't be ashamed of where you at right now. Know that where you're going. That's what's important. Where are you going? Are you going up, or are you going to allow yourself to stay down in that shame? That you hold this stuff in, and that's the problem. So many people hold stuff in. And I used to do that. I used to suppress so much inside of me that I had to learn how to release it to God. I had to give it to Him. So where I am right now, look, no more being ashamed. Yes. No rings. Yes. Divorce. Whatever. I'm not ashamed of that because I'm scared you're going to judge me and say, oh, if you divorce, you're going to hell. I ain't ashamed. I'm not afraid of anybody putting me in hell. The only person that could put me in hell is me. Okay? The word lets me know, don't be afraid of them that can destroy the body. But you are afraid of him. I'm putting in my own words pretty much. Be afraid of him that can destroy the body and the soul and cast it into hell, okay? So if he cast my soul into hell, it's because I was not living according to his word. I was not living up to his standards. I was not being a true believer. So that's what I'm going to be ashamed of. So anybody can say I'm going to hell for sin or doing certain things. Can nobody put me in hell? So if God tell me to say it, God tell me not to be ashamed, I'm not going to be ashamed. I'm not going to be ashamed. I'm not going to walk around here ashamed because I have no rings on. People want to look at me, oh my goodness, God bless you. Yeah, I done heard it. God bless you. My goodness, you're dealing with. Oh, wow. And I mean, I have people come to me and be like, wow, your children are so mannerable. My children sit there, like, y'all sit there, y'all act good, because I ain't got no babysitter. When I got to go to the doctor, when I got to go places, you sit there, you better act right. My children sit there and they will act right. And they like, wow, I didn't even have to say a word to them. Or if they did say something like, oh, don't do that, they know, oh, let me stop. You know, they had to say one thing to me. But for the most part, they were so good and mannerable. They sat there like they wasn't even there. So I thank God for my babies. I thank God, you know, like I cannot be ashamed. And I said, no more, God. I'm taking my rings off. I don't need no ring on. Only time I wear a ring if I want to wear it because I want to be fashionable, not because I'm ashamed. I'm not gonna wear it because I'm ashamed. I used to wear it because I was ashamed. It's crazy, right? So what are you ashamed of? Whatever you're ashamed of, you give it to the Lord and say, God, help me not to be ashamed of this thing, but help me to use this thing as a testimony to help somebody else out, because you don't know who might need. You never know who might need to see that or to hear that or whatever it is, and they feel like I can go to that person. I can go to that person and I can talk to them. You know, wow, look at that person. They got 5 children. They don't have no ring on their finger. They doing this by themselves. You never know who will confront you. And you never know who God will allow you to talk to. There's times you talk to people and they like, oh, they don't want to open up to you because they thinking, oh yeah, you know, you got it all together. You're good. And then you're like, I don't have it all together. But it's God that has my life together. And because of Him, He has it all together. Me, myself, personally, I don't know what I'm doing. But I know that I'm putting it in God's hands. And I know that I'm allowing God to fix it and allowing God to work it out for me. So I just want to encourage somebody, don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. The word said, don't be ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. When you are not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, you won't be ashamed of what He's doing to you right now. You won't be ashamed of how He's using your past. to be a light and an example and a testimony to others. So, thank you for listening. I pray that y'all have a blessed day. Pray y'all enjoy this day and today. Remember that we have freedom in Christ. My freedom day was the day that the Lord came into my heart. And he said, I stand at the door and I knock. And I let him in. So I understand that saying about let him in your heart. I understand. I didn't understand it at first. But God had to show me this is what it means. You open up your heart and I let him in. And I'm so glad I've been falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus. Falling in love with Jesus was the best thing I ever done. So I'm in love with Jesus. He is the best thing that's ever happened to me, honestly. So he never broke my heart. He never hurt me. He never abused me. He never take me for granted. He's just everything I needed him to be in my life. So he is my man. He is my everything. So yes, I'm in love with Jesus. That is the man of my life. And I'm happy about it. All right, I love y'all. Y'all be blessed. Bye.